The computer chip maker Intel has become the latest computer firm to report strong results as sales of PCs and laptops showing signs of recovery.
Certainly consumer has been very successful. Notebook computing in the UK as worldwide has been a huge growth factor for us. The Atom processor in the netbook category has generated $2 billion of revenue for us in only 18 months since its launch. And we see that continuing as we move into new smartphone type devices. And in fact, our ultimate goal is that you will see an Intel brain inside any device that has a power supply. So that's really our objective, to really move into these new markets as well as establishing a great success in our existing markets.
Well, this all comes after the DSG Group, that's the owner of PC World, saw its sales over Christmas rise. So is the computer industry over the worst of the recession? Well, this week I spoke to the boss of PC maker Asus, who, far from retreating, are pushing on with a raft of new machines, including this high-end prestige laptop, the NX90.
Actually, Asus, has been a very engineer-oriented company. We actually, just have innovation as the DNA. So it's not limited, to just only for the affordable type of, PC. When we talk about the ePC at that time, we think about, the future of digital life, and then what will be the evolution or the revolution, and that's why we actually invented, the ePC. But at the same time, I think there will be several different areas that we still would like to have the breakthrough. We hope we can be, like the open Apple, this kind of, positioning, because, in like the PC industry, people also enjoy the open industry advantage, right? Currently, based on the Windows, based on, the Intel processor or AMD processor, help the whole world, to have a lot of good applications. But at the same time, can we also achieve, that kind of masterpiece like Apple can deliver? That's actually what Asus is trying to do, yes.
Well, let's put this to the panel. Wonder how many PCs they're going to be buying. Joel, it's such a range now, isn't it? We've all got a basic PC. We've also got a laptop. Now there's this sort of prestige area, which some makers are going for.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Apple have got a unique position in the market, clearly. I mean, what seems to be driving things at the moment, this whole thing about the race to the bottom with people going for lower and lower spec machines. Now, you can get a netbook, which is a market that simply didn't exist previously, and that kind of thing is driving this resurgence in the market, because people are realising that you can buy a more affordable machine which will do some really useful stuff. So yeah, there's this whole new area of the market. The prestige thing I was talking about is interesting as well.
We saw a bit of the Slate stuff in Las Vegas last week, and of course we've got the Apple announcement sometime later this month. I'm not quite sure who's that going to be for, though. Do you know, Hermione? Are you gagging for a Slate?
I'm gagging
computer?
for a Slate, quite literally, yes. I think why carry 3 or 4 devices when you can carry one? With cloud computing, you can do many things on one device, and a Slate, they're saying this iTablet is going to be a sort of a glorified version of the iPhone, which is just perfect, absolutely perfect. So I think it's going to be a huge market. Really?
You don't think that you've got a smartphone already, you've got a PC at home? Ollie, do you need another Slate or another device?
I'm not going to go on the record and say I don't want an iSlate, because you never know, I might get a free one. But I mean, I think possibly Hermione's overstating things. I mean, I have got an iPod, I have got a PC. I live in a house. I could build that out of computer monitors as well, but I like the walls. I think there's a point where you say, OK, enough computers. But I'm sceptical about this whole thing about computer resurgences, by the way. I think the real thing here behind the spike that we're seeing, you saw it on the Intel bloke's face there, this little Machiavellian smile.
They're making good numbers, Ollie. You can't deny the numbers.
No, the numbers are there, but he said, we're seeing a future where there's Intels in everything, and he cracked a little smile. That's what it's about. It's about your phone, it's about your, fridges, hi-fis, all those things nowadays come with chips in. It's not just about computers, it's about everything being connected.
There's a hint also that one of the arguments they're putting forward, that newer machines are greener, of course. And if you get on the green bandwagon by saying you can get more processing power while using less electricity, I suppose there's an argument, or that's a bit of sales talk.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to build in like the carbon produced by manufacturing the thing in the first place. It's like the whole new cars thing, isn't it? I mean, it's true, new machines are more efficient, but there is a certain amount of sales.
We shall wait and see. We'll dangle the Slate in front of you all in a future programme and see if anybody takes it. Now, it's the kind of statement guaranteed to send a chill down the spine of anyone worried about their personal information online. The founder of Facebook saying that privacy is no longer the social norm. Mark Zuckerberg claimed this week that if he was setting up a social network today, information would automatically be made public. Well, those comments getting plenty of attention in the US. Marshall Kirkpatrick joins us now on a webcam from Portland. Marshall, what are they saying over there?
Well, it's a hot topic of conversation in the United States and I think all around the world. It's important to note that not all information is being made public on Facebook. Your phone number, for example, is something you're encouraged to upload, but the site discourages you from making that public. But your interests, friends list, things like that are all irrevocably public now.
And do you think users have got the handle on the change here? We covered the story when it happened, or you think, you feel most people don't know it's happened, actually, and there is a change of use?
I think people know that something has happened, but it's very confusing. Facebook is a very complex site, and so it must be a challenge to communicate settings and changes to users effectively, but I'm not sure how hard the company is really trying, because it's in their interest to be nudging people more and more public all the time.
OK. Marshall, we'll leave it there for them tonight. Thanks very much indeed for that. Now, it's one of the fastest growing websites in the world. Everyone from celebrities to grannies signing up to use Twitter. But it seems not everyone is a fan. The comedian Ricky Gervais today describing it as a waste of time and, interestingly, undignified. Is he right? Well, one person who might have a view is the first person in Britain to sign up to the site. I spoke to him earlier today.
I think it's very difficult to get Twitter. So although I joined the site all the way back in 2006, it actually took me 7 months to tweet for the first time. I was sort of watching what other people were saying and learning from it, and I guess gauging my audience. And it seems that looking at how Ricky's been using Twitter, he used it for a month, he sent 6 tweets, he didn't follow anybody, so he didn't really get any insight into what the people that were on there were interested in hearing from him, and he didn't respond to anybody, although I'm sure that, given he has quite a few people watching him, he had people that were asking him questions. And if you look at the way that Stephen Fry uses Twitter, for example, very successfully, while he was using Twitter, he's very engaging in the community.
Oh, Olly Mann, a Twitter veteran.
Yeah.
What are these people doing?
What's that man doing? I mean, he's like Nostradamus, first man to join Twitter, and then it takes 7 months to write a tweet. What's that about? That's very cautious, isn't it? What is Ricky Gervais doing? I don't know. I mean, look, in a way I envy him because I'm a podcaster. He famously was a podcaster and made millions of pounds out of his podcast. The crucial thing
Your big movie deal will be on its way.
It's on its way.
I'm sure.
But the crucial thing is, he was Ricky Gervais before he was a podcaster. And in the same sense, he was Ricky Gervais before he took to Twitter. We're all on Twitter because we have burgeoning public profiles. And the thing is, if you do anything in public, whether it's running a business, even just working for a business and you're the public face of it, as well as family and friends communication, it just makes sense to be on Twitter because you're part of a conversation. As your man was saying there, Ricky Gervais doesn't need to be part of a conversation. He broadcasts and people listen anyway.
Hermione, do you find it useful or just a bit of a gimmick?
I'm a total addict, seriously. I'm on Twitter 24/7, and you know when I'm not doing any real work because I'm just tweeting all the time.
You should get some sleep sometimes.
Yeah, I know. It's I can't handle it anymore. But I think Ricky Gervais, I reckon he's just jealous of Stephen Fry having more followers than him.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was in a bit of a Twitter battle with Jonathan Ross about it earlier as well. Joel, you tweet?
I do, yes.
And is it useful or just...
It is a very useful thing. I mean, it is what it is. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. I mean, obviously it has certain restrictions upon it as a form. You have to think about what you say.
7 months. 7 months, yeah. What you're going to say.
It's true, but you can't just type a sentence into it like you can with an email or a text. And that restriction can make it difficult for people to engage.
A bit like the texting ability on a mobile phone. I don't think the inventors really knew some of the significance it might have. We reported on the Iranian information coming out from the opposition there. We've reported on some information coming out by tweets. I don't know how they're doing it from Haiti and the situation there. So there are sort of unforeseen consequences in some of this technology, aren't there?
There really are. I mean, another interesting thing, of course, with Twitter is it's very difficult to trace where a tweet's coming from, so it's also very interesting. It's easy to fake something as well.
People talk about that. I mean, you're right, of course. Haiti, Iran, people talk in this very serious way about what Twitter can do all that stuff. But let's be honest, it's a celebrity rag, really. You know, Twitter came about at the end of the decade that was completely navally obsessed with celebrities, and you know, you've got an excuse now. They're broadcasting, they're choosing to say, Ashton Kutcher, here's a picture of Demi Moore's bum, look at it. I mean, they're inviting you to do that and people love it.
I think on that particular high point, we'll draw the programme to a close. Olly Mann, Hermione Veitch, thank you very much indeed. That's about it this